Hello there. Welcome back to grade 11 business studies. In this video, we want to look at question one, which is our section A. Remember, this is a compulsory section. So we are just going to look at question one, and we're going to start with the multiple choice. So we are using our first question as 1.1.1, and it reads, which of the following is an example of a non-verbal business information? So the key term that we have there is non-verbal. So non-verbal information, basically, it is when you are not communicating through spoken words or written words, we call that a non-verbal information. So, according to the responses that we have, we've got discussion. Obviously, we've got spoken words that we have, and the orals also, and also telephone calls. So the only the only appropriate answer that we have there is a graphs, which does not include communication through spoken words or written words. So graphs becomes the correct answer that we have on 1.1.1. We got 1.1.2. Translate is an example of a Dutch company. We've got private, state-owned, public, and a non-profit. So according to the responses that we have, we see that the correct answer that we have is state-owned company. Then you go to 1.1.3. The planning process which puts the plan into action is called A. We know that this is an action plan. And we've got action plan on D. So we have our correct answer is action plan, which is on D. Then 1.1.4, ideas that are originated and useful to solve business challenges. Remember, this is the exact explanation that we have on a creative thinking. Remember, that's original. The ideas will be original in terms of creative thinking. So we've got the correct answer is A. Then we go to 1.1.5. An 8-step system for managing change was designed by, we've got Meredith Belbin, and then we've got John P. Cotter, and then we have got Kat Lewin, and then also, obviously on the last part we've got Mark Kent. So B is our correct answer. Then we go to the next section whereby we're going to pick the correct term that is going to fill as a missing term that we have in our sentences. So we have got citizens, private, public, conflict, royalties, non-profit, rent, civil, stress, and foreigners as the responses that we are going to pick. So 1.2.1 reads, a humanitarian givers income and assets are used for public benefit purposes. This type of business is known as, you can just refer back to the explanation whereby they say humanitarian givers income and assets are used for public benefit purposes. So public benefit purposes. So it means there is an element of assistance that is there. And we know that this is related to non-profit company. They've got non-profit here. So 1.2.1, we are seeing a non-profit. So we can just maybe try to refer there and represent our 1.2.1. So we are saying 1.2.1 and we're saying non-profit is the response. Then we move on to the second part of the question, whereby the ongoing fee paid to the owner of an asset by using its name and trademark is known as, and we have, according to responses that we have there, we have royalties here as the correct response that we have. Remember, royalties are payments that one party makes to another party, that is the owner of an intellectual property. It can be an intellectual property or a real property asset. So basically, that's the explanation that is matching that explanation that we have. So we have got a royalty as the response for 1.2.2. So we are saying 1.2.2, and we are saying royalty. Royalties becomes the correct response that we have. Royalties. Then move on to the next part of the question, which is saying 1.2.3. Kaya's workload and temperature can be controlled through stress management. We go there and try to see what we have, but we've got stress here is the most applicable, which is stress management. Remember, stress management is the practice of improving mental and physical health. So basically, that's what we have there. So we have got 1.2.3, and we're saying stress management. So 1.2.3, we are saying stress management. When we go to the next part of the question, then we've got 1.2.4. It says people who live or were born in a particular country are called We'll check again according to responses, but we've got citizens here, which is the correct response that we have. 1.2.4, we are saying citizens. Then we move on to the last part of that section, whereby we have a question, which is 1.2.5, which says the Danish society to the development of communities. So we try to go there and see what we have, which term can we pick, but we've got civil here. The civil society includes NGOs and CBOs, which contributes to social and economic development of communities. So remember, the civil society is the aggregate of non-governmental organizations and institutions that involve diverse cultural religions and also special interest groups that represents and implement the interests and will of citizens. So basically, that's the explanation that we have in civil society. So we are saying civil. 1.2.5. And then obviously, this is the last question that we have on this section. But we go to the last section that we have outsourcing. So remember, outsourcing is we are trying, if buying, we are buying from outside. If we are trying to source in terms of services, which means we are taking the service providers from outside the company. So basically, that's what we have. So we go through the information that we are given and try to see what we have in terms of sourcing. But if you go to H, it say the business practice of hiring a third party to perform some services. So H is the correct response that we have. So here we are saying H is the correct response. Then 1.3.2, we've got equity capital, but equity capital is represented by own capital that is contributed by the owner of the business. So we go down to try to see what do we have in terms of that. So if you go to J, saying funds contributed by the owners of a business. So basically, that's what we have. So we are saying J is correct response that we have. Then we have got norming, and we know that norming is when a group reaches a consensus. That's when we say there is a norming. So basically, that's what we have. Reaching a consensus in a group, that's what we call norming. So basically, let's try to see now the explanation that we have there that is matching that. So let's try to go down. So G said coming to an agreement and reaching consensus. So we have that one is the most appropriate. Then we go to the rights approach. So the rights approach again, we try to see which one do matches that. We go down. What which is saying treating all his customers and employees with respect and dignity. So that's the rights approach, the most appropriate explanation that we have. So you're saying I. Then we've got for thinking. Thinking obviously, you are thinking using past decisions. So basically, that's what we have. So let's try to see in terms of explanation that we have. So we have got our A is saying using past decisions to guide their decision making. So basically, that's the most appropriate that we have. So we've got A is the most appropriate. So this is the last question that we have according to this video. That is on the section A of this question paper. Thank you for listening. So let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. Let's share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 11 business studies. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come. More typical examination questions are going to be uploaded on this channel. Remember, the question that we have just looked at is a typical examination question. So let's stay tuned. As for this video, I'm signing out. Let's meet again in the next video.